Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wal aqibatu lil muttaqeen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala ashrafil anbiya wa imam al mursaleen. Sayyidina wa maulana Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa ashabihi ajma'in. Allahumma faqihna fid din wa alimna ta'wil. Wajalna min khayrati ummati Sayyidina Muhammadin alayhi afdalus salati wa tammu taslim. Allahumma la ilma lana illa ma 'allamtana innaka antal alimul hakim. We seek Allah's protection from knowledge that does not benefit, from a heart that has no khushu, from a nafs that's never had enough, from an eye that does not tear, from a dua that's not heard. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back to Ramadan Radio Wolverhampton, 87.8 FM. You can watch us also on Facebook and YouTube. Inshallah, everyone's doing well. Okay, we're kind of halfway there when it comes to Ramadan. And inshallah everyone's Ramadan is going well. Now, what's important here is that you don't be too hard on yourself when it comes to Ramadan. Now, Ramadan is not the month for perfect people. It's the month where they're not so perfect, whatever reason that is, try their best and find forgiveness and cure. Now, you look for all the good. Actually, importantly, you have to look to be consistent after Ramadan. So you have immediately throughout Ramadan, but then you have to look at the bigger picture. Say long-term goal, but more of a medium-term goal that immediately after Ramadan, and then maintaining that on the long run. So how to be whatever you've achieved, and this is what you've been doing throughout the month of Ramadan. You are consistent in that outside of Ramadan, so after Ramadan. So if you've stopped one sin, that is a success. Okay, if you start to pray one prayer, that also is a success. But what's important is you build on it. I think what came to my mind is that when questions were asked for, you have reverts when they want to pray, they want to do so much, but they can't speak Arabic, so they can't recite in the prayer. So the important thing here is, another one of the advice you give them is that, look, continue to pray however you can pray, but then you also, as long as you have the intention of, you've got a goal set for yourself that this is what I'm going to do, to start to recite in Arabic, to memorize in Arabic, Surah Fatiha, etc. So you've got that intention. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give you the tawfiq to continue to do that. So inshallah, whatever you do is accepted, provided you have that intention that this is what you want to achieve. So the same thing here is that you're praying one prayer. Yes, you're meant to be praying 5 prayers, but one is better than nothing. So you're praying that one prayer, but then you have it in your mind, your intention is to build upon it. Okay, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves actions that are consistent, even if small. So don't fall into this trap of shaitan. He'll make you do too much, okay, and then make you leave it all. And I've spoke about this on so many occasions. Shaitan is very cunning in this way, the way he tricks you. And one of those ways is that you get overwhelmed. You take on too much. So you've got this Josh in Ramadan, where you've been consistently praying, you've been consistently doing dhikr, you've been consistently reading the Quran, reciting the Quran, all of this, and then almost you're thinking, what, I'm gonna maintain it. There's so much I did, because Ramadan comes with that special power as well. And then after Ramadan, you try for 1-2 days, for a week, and this is too much, I can't maintain it. And then instead of trying to reduce what you're doing, your actions, okay, this maybe we can cut down on this, you think of, let's leave it all. And I think that's the shaitan is very cunning in that way. So don't fall into that trap. Our teacher spoke about in the course doing Journey of the Quran. I advise people to sign up for that. And he spoke about Surah Baqarah verse 168, and it's an important verse in terms of understanding the relationship between food, soul, and shaitan. So you have the link of mankind eating, halal and tayyib, and shaitan. And the reason I'm mentioning this is obviously we spoke about don't fall in the trap of the shaitan. But then what is this link when it comes to food and shaitan? So there's this concept, as a teacher explained, is that there's this concept that you have human and shaitan. So how does the shaitan impact on the human? And that's through the whispers of shaitan. Okay, we've all experienced the whispers of the shaitan. In prayer, I've prayed 1 rakat, 2 rakat, 3 rakats, 4 rakats, and time and time again you're being attacked every time. In making you repeat the prayer time and time again. When you do your wuzu, or did I wash my arm properly? Let's do it again. Again, we're talking about the Seerah, we're talking about the Sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ. One of the beauties of why we wash 3 times, okay, is so that shaitan cannot attack us. So if you do the things the way the Prophet ﷺ did it, the best way possible, like the wudu. So you've got the fard element of the wudu. You need to do this, this, and this. But the way to do it is the sunnah way, because then you cover off everything in terms of fard, and you eliminate any doubts. So one of the things is you washing your face, say for example, and you wash your face 3 times, but then you'll turn around and think, oh, have I missed a bit here? Have I missed a bit there? 3 times, that's it. The Prophet ﷺ says do it 3 times. Even if you have missed something, move on. Because people will just go on and you've got examples of people taking hours on hours just doing their wudu, and this is the shaitan attacking them. Shaitan whispers. So you got that connection when it comes to human and shaitan. So how did the shaitan impact on the humans? Through the whispers of shaitan. Okay, how about the other way around? The human to shaitan. Okay, this is through eating that which is haram, eating that which is not tayyib. And those of you that know me, when it comes to food, I can go on and on. Not eating, but speaking so much about it all. How much wastage we got. When we talk about tayyib, this prime example of chicken. How currently the chicken, the state of a chicken, we're so concerned about the last 5 seconds of a chicken's life, meaning how was he slaughtered, but we never question the fact that previous to that entire life of a chicken, how was he treated? That's when it comes to tayyib, in terms of and I think it's important for us to think about these things as well. Anyway, so you've got the tayyib element as well. So these kind of things strengthen. So especially the haram element, it strengthens the kind of the shaitani faculty within the human. Okay, which then makes it more likely for the shaitan to mislead the human. Okay, to mislead the human. So you strengthen the shaitan and you strengthen the whispers. And also you have this element of the shaitan run kind of through our veins. The more you kind of eat, the stronger he gets. Hence why we always speak about eating within proportion. So when it comes to Ramadan, it's a time, and I say this sometimes, that you should be doing what, when it comes to eating, what your normal practice would have been outside Ramadan. So this additional samosa, pakore, kebabs and everything, whatnot, we have to have the roast, chicken, all of this additional stuff. I'm so much against it. Okay, you stick to your routine that you had previously, and also you'll notice that if you eat within proportion, it helps you with your ibadah, etc. So like I said, we can go on and on when it comes to food, but understanding this is important. So you have when it comes to human to shaitan, through whispers. So shaitan to human is through the whispers, and human to shaitan, it's through the eating. Okay, and that's how you strengthen the whispers as well. So what you eat, you are, a famous saying of you are what you eat as well. And it's true, especially for us. You are what you eat, in terms of what you put on the table to eat for your kids as well, your earnings, halal earnings, how have you obtained it, etc. That all, and then through that you're buying food for your children. All of this has an impact. Okay, all of this has an impact. Anyway, that was just a quick about how Ramadan is getting on. Let's carry on, inshallah. So let's go on to last week's riddle. I don't know how many people do it, but I still mention it. Okay, so last week's riddle was: the first journey set off on course, leave all the oppression. Justice provided by an unlikely source. No gifts can change the decision. Okay, this is referring to, let me just say once again, the first journey set off on course, leaving all the oppression. Justice provided by an unlikely source. No gifts can change the decision. And this is referring to the first migration, so the migration to Abyssinia, how when the Prophet ﷺ allowed groups to migrate, certain group to migrate to Abyssinia, and there you had the Najashi, the kind of king there, and because the Prophet ﷺ said he was a just person, okay? He was a Christian, but he was just, and he will then, so because he was just, he will allow them to practice their religion. Obviously, the kind of story is that how then follow up, the Quraysh, when they find out, they send someone, the delegation, or they send a friend of the Najashi to look, give us back. These guys have come, and then he was trying to, these guys, he doesn't believe in what you believe in, and that was an important actually story from there as well. You can learn from, because the option was there. Sayyidina Jafar, the cousin of the Prophet ﷺ, Sayyidina Ali's elder brother, he was the one almost like leading, and he was a representative there because he had, he was eloquent in his speech and all that. And when the Najashi asked the question, oh, is this true what they're saying? And, these questions were asked. One part of it was a case of, well, do we lie? Do we lie because we need to stay here? If he sends us back, then we're going to be persecuted. Okay? But even though those difficult time, no, we still tell the truth. Let me narrate from the Quran. Okay? And the Najashi, he was taken back by all this, and he allowed them to stay. Okay? He allowed them to stay, and they stayed for so long. And even when they finally did, go back to Mecca, specifically it was Medina then actually, because the migration had taken place. He was sad, the fact that they were leaving. They spent so much time there. He was sad. So he was a just leader. I mean, there's so much we can say about the Najashi. I have spoke about him in the Seerah classes that we do, the weekly ones. So if anyone wants to, they can listen to those. Today, what I want to do is speak about the Prophet ﷺ's character. Okay. Actually, before that, we'll speak about that after the break, because what I wanted to mention here is itikaf. So those that are interested, so itikaf there's so much blessings in that, and definitely people should attempt to sit itikaf if they're not previously. Even if they have previously, you'll realize how you're cleaning your soul, etc. How beneficial it is. So let's talk first about itikaf. When is it? For those that started on Ramadan or fasting on a Monday, for them, so it's the 21st night. I think this is where people get a bit confused. They probably try to go backwards or go like this, and then they get confusion. So it's the 21st night. Remember what I've said so many times, that the night precedes the day. Okay, so the night, so at Maghrib is when the date changes. Okay, at Maghrib the date changes. So for those that started on Monday, today is the 15th fast. So from Maghrib it'll turn the 16th. Okay, at Maghrib it'll become the 16th Ramadan. So that's when 21st night is when you need to be there in the masjid. You're sitting itikaf. Well, for those that are sitting in the masjid, for ladies obviously it's at home. So for those that start on Monday, it's Saturday night, the 30th. For those that start on a Tuesday, it's Sunday night, 31st. So if anyone has the intention, just bear that in mind. Men sit itikaf in the masjid, like I just mentioned, and so there's different categories when it comes to itikaf. Okay, seclusion, itikaf. So anyone that actually enters the masjid, you should always, so there's nafal itikaf, so you can sit as long as you want. Nafal itikaf, you can sit as long as you want. So people should make a habit of, when they enter the masjid, you just say, Nawaitu sunnat al-itikaf, so I'll make intention for itikaf. So any time you spend in the masjid, you're getting additional reward as if you're sitting itikaf. that you should be, it should be a practice of everyone. Okay? As you enter the masjid, alongside the du'as that you read for entering the masjid, one of them should be Nawaitu Sunnat al-Itikaf. I make intention for the Sunnah Itikaf, or the Nafil Itikaf. Okay? That whatever time I'm spending here, I'm getting reward for it. But when it comes to the actual Sunnah Itikaf, the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, he sat Itikaf in Ramadan for 10 days. Right? There's more to it, but we haven't got much time, so I'll go into much detail. But so if you are sitting for men, it's in the masjid. Okay, the idea here is that there's within the Shari Masjid, or the allocated masjid area. And then there's all this fiqh about can you go outside of it and all that. But we haven't got time for that. If anyone has got any questions, please get in touch or ask your imam in the masjid. They will help you out in that. But you got that specific area that you need to stay in. Seclusion is important actually, and the Prophet ﷺ, this is what he would do before revelation. Okay, this is what he would do before revelation. You have him going to Ghar Hira actually, where you have the first revelation. But even prior to that, he would go to Ghar Hira for seclusion. And actually, some of the commentators say that his his grandfather, Abdul Muttalib, would actually go there previously for seclusion. And so this is a kind of habit you get into for seclusion, because the Prophet ﷺ wanted to spend time. And this is the idea here. And sometimes people are very strict. I know in the Maliki school, they are very strict. You shouldn't be talking to anyone. You shouldn't be doing this. You shouldn't be doing that. In the Hanafi, quite more relaxed. It's okay. So look, the idea is as long as you're there, the main thing is you're there. And one of the key things it is when you're sitting at the Itikaf is that you will be there in ibadah, in a state of ibadah, etc., on the night of power. Okay, so you're going to hit the night of power because your routine will be the same for all the nights. Okay, so you'll hit it. Okay, it's not like everyone asks you put all your baskets, all your eggs in one basket, the 27th night, and then hope that's it. It's a bit risky there, but for those sitting at the Itikaf, you will hit the night of power. You'll be continually your ibadat in that. So this for women, it's at home. It's just whatever your masjid is within your household. Okay, your masjid within your household. So you've got your specific area that here you go. This is where I'm going to spend my time now. Sometimes people, what they do is they put up like a sheet or something, kind of cordon off a certain area at home. You don't have to do that. I mean, but just that privacy, etc. So if you want to, you can. And the same is done obviously at the masjid as well. It's just that privacy, isn't it? That's the whole reason behind it. But definitely, if those that are making intention for itikaf do so, there's so much benefit. But also don't, those that are sitting it, don't kind of overburden yourself as well. You need to pace yourself because you're going there 10 days, inshallah. And also the fact that you don't want to end up getting ill. Okay? I'm coming back to actually when we spoke about the food as well, as much as we I think important here is the middle ground. Don't eat too much, don't eat too less, because you need this energy as well to continue your worship. I think that's important. Don't eat too much because then you become lazy. And the same will apply if you're sitting the Itikaf, because you want to be spending a lot of time doing ibadah, but don't go completely overboard because you get ill. If you get ill, if forbid you need to then leave itikaf, then because that's now because you made the oath, etc., it's become wajib on you, then you would have to repeat it. Okay, you have to repeat it. It's one of those things. So be careful about all of these things. If you want to get more detail, definitely speak to your imam at your local masjid to get more information around itikaf. But definitely it will be so beneficial for everyone. Okay? So that's it when it comes to itikaf. Inshallah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy for us. Those that are intending on doing it, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give you the tawfiq, the strength to truly make it an amazing experience, and to truly achieve what you want to achieve, and the closeness to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I think that's important here, closeness to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, there are so many like hadiths when it comes to itikaf, and that's where we learn a lot of stuff. It talks of how his wife would comb his hair. He put his head outside of the masjid so she can comb his hair, wash his hair. One time he accompanied one of his wives home, right? Even though he was sitting at the calf. So there's so much that we learn, one time, because he's had it for 20 days. Just kind of want to make up another one. So this is the sunnah element. Like I said, everyone should make that niyyah of when you enter the masjid. Okay, you're just doing like a nafil itikaf, so you'll get the reward for that, inshallah. So what we'll do is, obviously we're getting close to the break now, so there's no point me starting on that topic. But what I want to do is, after the break, I did want to speak about the Meccan period, so we'll just pick a few points. But specifically, we want to kind of concentrate on the character of the Prophet ﷺ, and then obviously that what we can learn from that. Okay. So what's important for kids, especially, or even grown-ups as well, but kids that you implemented, then there are key stages in the seerah that everyone should know about. So you've got the birth of the Prophet ﷺ. Okay, so many miracles occurred in that. But the birth of the Prophet ﷺ, which is known as the Year of the Elephants, people should know that. Year of the Elephants, we've spoke about it, what the event took place. Then you have the revelation. Okay, how old was the Prophet ﷺ? Revelation, 40 years old. Okay. Then you have the hijrah. So then how old was the Prophet ﷺ when he went on hijrah? 53, migrated to Medina. And then when the Prophet ﷺ left this temporary world, how old was he then? 63. So then you understand key stages. So 40 when revelation came, and so you got the Quran. 13 years spent in Mecca, so 13 years of the Quran revealed in Mecca. Then you have the migration to Medina, and then 10 years spent, or 10 years of revelation in Medina. So these key kind of, I mean, there's so much more, but these are the, well, you couldn't say the main, so basic stuff that everyone should know. Okay. So birth, revelation, migration, and the Prophet ﷺ passing away. Okay. What was his age around that time? And then obviously then you've got other things, because then that also answers a lot of questions, even when it comes to the Quran. So how many years of the Quran it took for the Quran to be revealed? As we've just spoke about that, just do some maths, 23 years. Okay. How many in Mecca? 13. How many in Medina? 10. These kind of things you just drill it into kids. The other thing I mentioned about was us knowing about the Prophet ﷺ. I think last year I read out a description of the Prophet ﷺ. So I think it's important for everyone to, it's important for everyone to know about the description of the Prophet ﷺ. Okay, his physical description, his physical appearance, and kind of implement that, kind of embed that into your mind. Anyone kind of asks, okay, this is how our Prophet is. We've got a better description of actually Prophet Isa al-Islam than the Christians have. On the night journey, the Prophet ﷺ describes how Prophet Isa al-Islam looked. How when he came, his hair was open, it was like he'd just come out of the shower. His hair was kind of, it was shiny and wet, but that's how his natural look was. It was like he'd just come out the shower. So we should have this description of the Prophet ﷺ, the physical description, understand how he looked, and make all our kids actually memorize that. This is the person that we look up to, is our role model. We follow in his footsteps, so we should know everything about him. I think that's important. So we'll continue, inshallah, some key Meccan events and then lessons that we can learn from that. And specifically, we want to speak about the character of the Prophet ﷺ. So we return after this short break of adverts. Assalamu alaikum.
Eurofit Auto Centres, the leading MOT and service centres in West Midlands, are recruiting technicians, MOT testers and managers. There's a starting salary of £30,000 based on experience, and a minimum 5 years experience is necessary. For details, call Rashad at Eurofit Auto Centres on 01902 404045. That's Eurofit Auto Centres on 01902 404045.
Northern Gas Heating, celebrating 24 years of reliable heating and renewable energy solutions for your home. We have unbeatable offers on gas boilers, fully installed by our professional engineers. If your business or home is paying high electricity prices, Call for a free Northern Gas heating quote for cost-effective solar PV with battery storage. Visit northerngasheating.com or call 0800 083 1000.
Ramadan Kareem from Premier Tyres, suppliers of the tyres you can rely on for safe driving, as they're the only link between your vehicle and the road. And as well as leading tyre brands, Premier's your reliable go-to garage for servicing, spares, repairs and MOTs. Now available, Wolverhampton taxi plated cars for hire. Now Uber and Bolt ready, so you can run your business in confidence. For details, visit Premier Tyres, Crown Street, WV1 1PX. Call 01902 455 684 or visit premiertyreservices.com.
Experience the AK Windows difference. Visit our HQ at Economic House, Salisbury Street, Wolverhampton, WV3 OBG. Discover quality UPVC and aluminium windows, doors, roof lanterns, bifolding doors and composite doors in various styles. Offering glass and UPVC repairs too. With over 30 years of experience, AK Windows is your trusted choice for both trade and retail. For free quotations, call 01902 421 500 or visit akwindows.co.uk. Elevate your living with AK Windows. Precision, quality, satisfaction.
Midland Plastics and Plumbing Limited, your one-stop shop for home and bathrooms. A wide range of plumbing products and quality bathroom supplies in Wolverhampton. We supply underground drainage, guttering, roofing products, UPVC cladding and much more to the trade and public. This Ramadan, we're offering 40% off all bathroom suites. Visit us online at midlandplasticsltd.co.uk or call us today on 01902 399 611. Or why not visit in-store at Moore Street South, Wolverhampton, WV2 3JN.
Mubi Base Electronics, specialist in car audio and home entertainment. Suppliers of leading brands, Samsung, Sony, and Panasonic. We supply and fit all car audio systems, top brands, Kenwood, Bose, and we're an authorized supplier of Vibe product. Visit our store online at mubibase.co.uk and order today for next day delivery. Mubi Base Electronics are proud sponsors of Wolverhampton Wanderers FC. Call us today for a free quote on 01902 754 546 and quote Ramadan 20 for 10% off. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Mubi Base Electronics, specialist in car audio and home entertainment.
Khan Builders offer a full range of building services, from major rebuilds to small projects, home improvements, kitchen fitting, plastering, bathroom fitting, extensions, and much more. We pride ourselves on providing a professional, caring, and high-quality service and always meet our customers' needs. Contact Khan Builders today on 07813 950 265 for a free quotation from Khan Builders. We've all spent a lot of time at home lately, and it's time to notice those carpets really need replacing. Let's be honest, we don't want to go from shop to shop, do we? Well, Perfect Carpets can save you the time and bring perfection to your floor. Over 1,000 high-quality styles and colours. Carpets start from only £3 per square yard. Rugs from £30. There's free measurements and free quotation with exclusive trade discounts to landlords and builders. You can't get any more perfect. Make your home with Perfect Carpets, the Black Country's biggest carpet store. Call us today on 01902 428 833 or visit us at 21 to 25 Snow Hill, Wolverhampton, WV2 4AD, and quote Ramadan Radio for 5% off your next order.
Quick Build Construction Limited offer a full range of building services, from major rebuilds to small projects, home improvements, kitchen fitting, plastering, bathroom fitting, extensions and much more. We pride ourselves on providing a professional, caring and high-quality service and always meet our customers' needs. Contact Quick Build Construction today on 07813 950 265 for a free quotation from Quick Build Construction.
Do you have a family member that's passed away and you would like someone to assist you in legal advice? Kenneth Jones Solicitors has been providing legal services for businesses and individuals since 1986. We specialise in probate, Islamic wills and family law. We also offer services in conveyancing, immigration and personal injury. Contact us today on 01902 745 773 or visit us on our website at kenneth-jones.co.uk.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Welcome back to Ramadan Radio, Wolverhampton 87.8 FM. So before the break, we spoke about the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. We spoke about we spoke about Ramadan in terms of practical kind of steps around Ramadan, and we spoke a bit about Itikaf as well. What I want to speak about is the character of the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, and how we look to the Prophet ﷺ for guidance. We look at the Seerah, the Shamal, etc. We want to know everything detail about the Prophet ﷺ. And actually, one of the things that our teacher said was that, look, forget everything else. Let's just go down to the basic. It's kind of language that we understand. Okay, language that we understand. And the thing about the Prophet ﷺ was that he was just so kind. Simple as that. Okay, forget everything else. The Prophet ﷺ was just so kind. If only kind of non-Muslims could understand this. When we describe him, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, we describe him as mercy to the world. Okay, that's too big. Maybe people can't relate as it's just too big. Okay, so he, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, was a kind-hearted person. Perfect kindness. Who would go out of his way to bring happiness to a person's heart. Whoever called upon him, he would not disappoint. They got full attention. And there's so many examples actually. There was a Sahaba who came to the Prophet ﷺ, and this is how the Prophet ﷺ would treat all of them. This is why he felt like that. He came to the Prophet ﷺ. He goes, Ya Rasulullah, who's the most beloved to you? And he goes, Aisha. And the Sahaba goes, no, obviously that's your wife. Obviously, I'm not talking about like that. But after that, and then he goes, the father of Aisha. It's really interesting here, actually. Even then as well, he links it back to saying that Aisha, the father of Aisha. Yeah, obviously we can't compete with the Sayyid Abu Bakr Siddiq, But apart from that, who's after that then? And then next comes Sayyidina Umar. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Actually, I can't remember now off the top of my head, but it was at that point that the Sahaba thought, you know what? After that, another Sahaba's never mentioned. After that, another. And then he thought, wait a minute, I better stop here now, because I don't know where I'm coming on the list. And the reason why this was, when the Prophet ﷺ would speak to the Sahaba, he would give them full attention. Okay, and they said that it felt like I was the most important person in the world to the Prophet ﷺ. And this is how he treated every single one of them. But obviously when a direct question like that is asked, the Prophet ﷺ can't lie. He's a prophet. He has to tell the truth. Okay, so he come out with the truth. This is it. And that's when the Sahaba realized, wait a minute, I don't know where I'm in the pecking order. Okay, so this is the thing, full attention. I mean, there's so many examples around it. The Prophet ﷺ would give full attention, and we take from that we have these kind of vast kind of plans, these kind of sophisticated plans, etc. What we need to do is just simplify things. Okay, just simplify it. Just be kind. Okay, just be kind. Follow the Prophet ﷺ and just be kind. The most beloved action to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Okay, be kind. If you just take it like that, I know as much as we go into a lot of the detail, but as I mentioned last week as well, that let's kind of stick sometimes to the themes. And the theme is just be kind. Okay, if you want to take anything away, take away that. Just be kind to people. Okay, so one way of us looking at the Seerah is, what is it that you learn about the character of the Prophet ﷺ from the Seerah? The character is critical. It's from character that actions emerge. So Imam Ghazali said, your character traits are like the soil of your heart. Okay? Your deeds arise from the soil. Bad soil, you're going to get weed or kind of nothing's going to grow. Good soil, you'll get these kind of flowers and fruits, etc. The things that will nourish you ultimately in the hereafter. Okay, excuse me. So understanding the character of the Prophet ﷺ and modeling ourselves on the character of the Prophet ﷺ is extremely important. Okay, so that we can bring forth good actions, so that good actions become easy. Okay, so when we look at Seerah, a couple of key events in the Meccan period that we touch upon. First is the revelation. And we won't talk about the events of first revelation. We have done that and in quite a little detail. I want to focus on what happens straight after the revelation. Okay? And this is important because you see how the Prophet ﷺ is. Now, so you got the revelation, and the Prophet ﷺ is kind of left the cave in a state. So everyone knows about the revelation, the first revelation in Cave Hira, but we're talking about what happened straight after that. So the Prophet ﷺ leaves the cave in a state of kind of awe-filled kind of terror. Imagine the journey back for him after what's just taken place. Okay, the distance, etc. Of those of you who've actually travelled up to Hira, I know they've kind of made it a bit easier now with all these stairs, etc. But just imagine then, no stairs, and just rocks, and him rushing back down. Imagine the distance. So him coming down, and like I said, he wasn't close. So how was the Prophet ﷺ feeling? So he left the cave, came down to the mountain, and returned to Sayyidah Khadija radiallahu anha, his beloved wife. Okay, so the Prophet ﷺ comes in kind of sweating, he's shaking, and he's, hold me, embrace me. She holds him, she embraces him, she comforts him. Okay, he ﷺ puts his blessed head on the knees of our mother Sayyidah Aisha radiallahu anha. The hadith actually mentions that the Prophet ﷺ did not speak for some time. Okay, meaning he kind of shook for a little bit. She just kind of holding him. Okay, she's not, like he's coming rushing in, and one after the other, question after question. What happened? This. She's embraced him. She just waited. She's just holding him. She's not asking any questions. In a panic, etc. She's just waiting. She's waiting for him to settle. His beloved wife said that Khadija, she's just waiting for him, sallallahu to settle. And when he settles, slightly, he says, "Oh Khadija." So he's kind of slightly settled. So he says to his beloved wife, "Oh Khadija, what is wrong with me?" Okay, so remember this experience. Right? It really shook me. This is an amazing experience that just happened. And he says, "What is wrong with me? I'm worried about myself. The one I saw in my dream came to me," as the Prophet ﷺ see Jibreel alayhi salam in a dream. Okay, and it's amazing how the Prophet ﷺ went straight to Sayyidah Khadija, rather than anyone else, knowing that no one is going to kind of reassure him and be more kind of supportive than this woman. So Sayyidah Khadija anha comforts him, and how amazing is her comforting of him. She told him exactly what he needed to hear. Okay, so there's so many things that she could have said, okay, rest now, seen an opportunity to kind of moan at him for, I've told you not to go up to the mountain or, the cave and spend so much time there for so long, etc. But no, she says to him, by God, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will never disgrace you, meaning Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would never do anything bad to you. He would never forsake you. So she put it across to him that this is good news. Okay, you're not losing your mind. This is good news. Okay, why not? So why should Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forsake you? And look at what she said, because this is amazing. What does she go on to say? Because what's the reason? It's not like, you get true dreams. With the build up to all the revelation, the Prophet would have true dreams. Because your heart was opened up when you were a child. Because rocks and trees greet you. We got so many miracles on that, rocks and trees greeting the Prophet ﷺ. When you were 25 years old, you went on my caravan to Syria. A cloud shaded you the whole way. Christian monks are prophesying that you're going to be a prophet to the Arabs. That's why I married you. So it's not all of this. She doesn't mention all of this. She doesn't say any of that. What does she say? And this is important here. She goes, you mend ties with those who break ties. You mend ties with those who break ties. You look after orphans and people in need. You protect people who are vulnerable. You take care of people. You give comfort and companionship to people who are alone. People trust you because you are trustworthy. SubhanAllah, look at this. And remember who this is. Sayyidah Khadija mentioned all these qualities of the Prophet ﷺ. Her proof for the truthfulness of the message of the Prophet ﷺ was his character, and specifically how he treated people. So what beautiful words by Sayyidina Khadija radiallahu ta'ala anha to reassure the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. No one knew the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam better than her. They've been married for 15 years now. Something as beautiful that, come from your spouse here. This is important actually for those that were married as well, because you spend a lot of time with your family. When you go out, you can put on a show in front of people. When you go to the masjid, how you dress up, how you pray, how you speak, subhanallah. And then also when you come home, right, you just show your anger, you're shouting at this person, that person, that person. That's your true character. Okay? And this is coming from Sayyidina Khadija, who spent 15 years with him, and look at the way she's beautifully describing him. Okay. Also knowing that, you can also say, obviously, because Sayyidina Khadija, remember, she was really a wealthy person. She was really, really wealthy. Okay. I mean, we've gone into details in the Seerah lesson that I do, but she was a really wealthy person. So when the Prophet ﷺ when they got married, he pretty much took over the business. But all he would do was and that did not change him as well. The wealth, normally you say the Prophet, he wasn't transformed by the wealth. Okay, instead he used that kind of for more noble things and kind of more truthful and charitable things. And this is here, makes Sayyidina Khadija believe in him even before the Prophet ﷺ believes in himself. Okay, so the first person to believe in the Prophet ﷺ believed in him, not because of any of the kind of experiences that he had, not because of any miracle. She believed in him and she confirmed in his belief on the basis of the way he treated people. How beautiful your character is. What what you say must be the truth. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would never make lies or falsehood or misguidance manifest on the tongue of someone like you. Okay, this is what she's telling him. This is what she's telling him. That the message to take for us is if you want to spread the message of Islam, do learn it. Why don't you want people to say, no matter what I hear on TV, whatever I see, etc. But something, I will never believe that your religion and your prophet is, satanic or demonic or false, because I know you and that you would never follow something that was evil. Why can't people say that? Some people do say that actually. I've seen such and such, but you guys are not like that. Yeah, you're right. We're not like that because our religion's not like that. Which means that these people who claim to represent true Islam, they're the ones distorting it. What's the proof? Character. Character is the proof, and that was the first proof and the strongest proof for the truthfulness of the Prophet ﷺ in our day and age. Okay, you can talk about the splitting of the moon. You can talk about the Prophet ﷺ feeding thousands of people with a little food, with water coming out of his fingers. All of these miracles. Okay, you can speak about all that. The miracle of the Prophet ﷺ that people can access today is his character. Okay, his character. Okay, they're not going to spend 20 years or so. We go into all these details. Spend a lot. We want to truly understand the Quran. You spend years upon years for classical Arabic. So when you kind of read it, because remember, at the time of the Prophet ﷺ, okay, at the time of the Prophet ﷺ, even his biggest enemies, okay, they heard this, and whenever they would hear the Prophet ﷺ read the Quran, they would cry. So Abu Jahl and others, they would go at night. They would leave their house because the Prophet ﷺ would sit by the Kaaba and recite. Okay, so they would sneak out just to listen to him reciting, and they would cry. And then in the next morning, when they see each other and they say, "Oh, you've been listening to Muhammad, like you've been listening to him, and you were as well." So they knew, they were impacted by the Quran because of the recitation, because they understood Arabic and all that. So we don't have that luxury in terms of being impacted by the Quran so much like that, the classical Arabic and all that. So we're not going to go all the way and spend years upon years learning Arabic, etc., to truly appreciate it. Okay, we don't do that. We ourselves don't know it. So how can we expect other people to know it? Okay, so the miracle of the Prophet ﷺ that people can experience through your life, through you, is the character of the Prophet ﷺ. So let them experience that, be a better person, so that when people say, what does your religion have to offer me, you can say to them genuinely, peace, tranquility of the soul. Okay, tranquility of the soul. So saying that Khadija's comforting of the Prophet ﷺ is an indication that his character was a major proof of his suitability for prophethood, and that his blessed character and actions, as well as all, she knew about his kind of Mubarak nature of nature and history, would be a means to glad tidings, not any form of humiliation. So this is subhanAllah, when you look at this event, usually what happens is our focus is on the revelation. What happens in the Jibreel Islam comes, recite again, recite. I'm not a reciter as in that sense of, the poetry, reciters, etc. The Prophet ﷺ, this is what he meant, And then Jibreel Islam's hugging the Prophet ﷺ and all that all of that events. We talk about what happened in the cave and all that. Yes, it's really important, yes, fine. But look at what happens straight after. And look at what gives the Prophet ﷺ reassurance. And look who is there to comfort him and what words are used to comfort him. What the focus is on there. The focus is on his character. The focus is on how the Prophet ﷺ was. Coming back to what I said, the Prophet ﷺ was just a kind person. He was just so kind. So many examples we can get from that. Look at even the events on the open call. When the Prophet ﷺ is standing on Mount Safa. So again, a bit of background, or for those that don't quite know it. So when initially you've got the kind of we say selective call, you can call it, okay, where it wasn't mentioned out in the open, it was a selective people here. The Prophet ﷺ was kind of building his team, his base, his foundation. Then the time comes to openly announce he stands there, Mount Safa, and he calls people, like calling this tribe, oh so and so, oh so and so, oh so and so, and then people are gathering. This something important is about to happen here now. And one of those was Abu Lahab, the uncle of the Prophet ﷺ. Okay, one of his biggest enemies was the uncle of the Prophet ﷺ, Abu Lahab. And he's calling and saying to people, come. And then he says, what if I told you that there's an army, so behind this mountain, there's an army approaching to attack you? What would you say then? And all of them, the response was, we'll believe you. We believe you because you are trustworthy, you're truthful. This is the Prophet ﷺ. 40 years he spent in Mecca amongst these people. Everyone knew about him. Even when it came to when we talk about the Prophet ﷺ kind of becoming a merchant and trading, saying that Khadija, when she kind of identified him, she was looking for someone trustworthy, because the way it worked was that you would go off and the traders would go off with your goods and they were not honest. So you would have to factor in that you're going to lose a certain amount because they're all not honest. They'll take something. And it was expected of that. But when it came to the Prophet ﷺ, not only everything was kind of brought back, everything's accounted for. So saying that Khadija makes so much of a profit, he then actually doubles her profit by additional things, like, by bringing certain things and then selling them as they approach Mecca. So he kind of, on his first trip, he just, multiplies her profits. This is the thing. He was his character, his trustworthiness. So everyone knew how he was. Everyone knew how he was, and they said, "Look, we trust you. You're trustworthy. You're truthful. We believe you." And after that, after they said those words, that's when he then turned around and said, "Okay, I'm the prophet of Allah. Okay, I come with the message of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and I come a message that you believe in one God, so you believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, as in like, get rid of your idols and all that you guys are doing." Remember, you had all around the Kaaba at that point, there were, according to some relation, 360 idols all around the Kaaba and inside the Kaaba. Okay, so you had all of this. Okay, so get rid of your idols. You only believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You only worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, one God. Okay, and I'm His messenger. I'm His prophet. come to you. This is all said after you guys have just admitted that I do not lie. You've just admitted that I'm trustworthy, I'm truthful. Right? And actually what happens is people start to think. People, because of the Prophet ﷺ, and obviously he's so eloquent as well in the way he would speak, and they start to think, you know, it's true, he's look at his character, we know how he is. But what kind of changes everything? What changes everything is his uncle is standing there, Abu Lahab, he realizes what's going on. And then he just shouts out, oh, is that what you called us? Is that, we thought you was something important. You're just wasting our time. What's that meant to mean? And that's when everyone like, oh yeah, actually, yeah, oh, they start laughing at him then. Oh yeah. And then that's when the crowd dispersed. But look at where it was all building up towards. So this is what we need to take upon more and more. And remember what I mentioned about when you're out in the public, when you're out amongst the people, you can then put on a front as much as possible. Your true character kind of shines when you're amongst those that you have interaction with on a regular basis, specifically your family at home. How is it you're treating? Are you the same as you are outside at home? That's the key thing here. Oh, you know what? Look at the time. We'll continue, inshallah, next week. I want to kind of touch upon a few other points. Today I wanted to kind of mention about Taif as well and Hijrana, but we kind of run out of time. What I want to kind of just do is quickly, before let's come out with a riddle. So here we go then. So everyone has been given permission. Everyone is ready for the mission. What is the delay for this beloved? Maybe Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will grant you the best of companions. Everyone has been given permission. Everyone is ready for the mission. What is the delay for this beloved? Maybe Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give you the best of companions. Okay. So just to kind of wrap up then, I just want to get just in case we run out of time completely, I can't mention the riddle as much as you guys look so forward to it. One of the things actually, the Prophet ﷺ, when even when we speak about the Hijrah, and I suppose I'll decide what to do next week, is whether we continue on the Meccan period or we kind of mention a few things on the Medinan period as well, because we've got two kind of shows left on that. But time and time again here, we speak about how the Prophet ﷺ was with people. Okay? Even when he came to actually those his enemies, how he was with them. The only time the Prophet ﷺ got angry, he did not get angry for himself. He got angry when someone else, there was injustice done to someone else. Okay, so to basically, if injustice done to someone else to kind of get justice for them, that's when he would get angry. Right? It was the only time he would get angry. So there's so much that we can pick up and learn from. And again, we're going to look at the grand theme of things here. And the thing you could just remember is that, forget everything else, is that, look, the Prophet ﷺ was just a kind person. And what we need to do, we need to be kind. We just leave it at that. And then we leave it at that thought, inshallah. Help us to work on ourselves, inshallah. Okay, we leave it at that. Hopefully this has been beneficial. If people do have any questions, etc., they can always get in touch. Inshallah, everyone's Ramadan will continue to do well, go well. Please continue with your consistent ibadah. We leave it at that. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.